In a scandal that sent shockwaves through the law enforcement community, we delve into the disturbing case of Maegan Olivia Hall, a female police officer who became entangled in a web of misconduct within her own department. The revelation of her illicit affair with fellow officers not only exposed the deep-rooted corruption within the force, but also shed light on the consequences it had on the lives of those involved. Let's take a deep dive into the wild and crazy story of Maegan Olivia Hall. Maegan Hall was a 26-year-old woman from rural Tennessee who had big dreams of becoming an actress when she was a child. However, her life took a different turn when she met and fell in love with Jebediah Hall, the son of a local pastor. They got married in 2018, but their dreams of acting had to be put on hold. Maegan decided to join the local Laverne Police Department, while Jed got a job as a park ranger. They appeared to have a perfect life together, as shown in their photos with big smiles and lots of love. However, as the saying goes, things are not always as they seem. Maegan recently admitted that she and Jed were having serious problems in their marriage. These problems were the cause of the events that followed. Since things weren't good at home, she tried to have some fun at her job. However, while having fun, she also got involved in some questionable actions. She and her colleagues had romantic encounters within their department. The individuals involved were Patrol Officers Juan Lugo Perez, Lewis Powell, Detective Seneca Shields, and Sergeant Henry Ty McGowan. All of them were dismissed from their positions. Along with Maegan, 3 other officers, namely Patrick Magliacco, Larry Holliday, and Gavin Schuberl, were suspended after the investigation. With so many exciting experiences, it was only a matter of time before the whole world would find out. However, the event that truly initiated everything happened on December 12, 2022, when the police received a complaint. Surprisingly, it was the Laverne mayor, Jason Cole, who became aware of a significant misconduct occurring within the town's police department, thanks to a whistleblower. The tip revealed that one of the officers, Maegan Hall, was engaged in multiple extramarital relationships with her colleagues. These secret relationships didn't just happen when the officers were off duty, in places like hotels, motels, and boat parties. They also occurred while these officers were supposed to be serving and protecting their community. The investigation into this scandal was led by Andrew Patton, the head of human resources at the Laverne Police Department, and it uncovered some shocking details. Maegan and Jed's relationship was already strained before this scandal became public. They were on the brink of getting a divorce and were trying to work through their problems before things escalated. Maegan had even misled her colleagues in the office by claiming that she and her husband were in an open relationship, which turned out to be false. Just before joining the police force, Maegan had a meeting with Officer McGowan at his place, who happened to be the one who initially reported the misconduct to the mayor. Maegan went with Jed to the meeting, and unfortunately, things got out of control. At McGowan's house, Hall played a game of strip Uno and took off their clothes. Powell wanted to have a 3-way situation with Hall and her husband Jed, but Jed refused and was upset about it. However, Maegan and McGowan reportedly kissed, and McGowan even shared explicit pictures with Hall. The whistleblower got into trouble because, despite the evidence, McGowan denied having any affairs with Hall. As a result, he was fired from his job for lying during the investigation. Moreover, Patrick Magliacco admitted to being with Hall on multiple occasions. He disclosed that his wife Amy and the female police officer kissed after learning about their open marriage. During the investigation, Magliacco revealed that they had been in an open relationship with Hall since spring 2022. This incident shows Hall's attempts to involve her husband in activities he didn't agree with. What happened was that Jebediah walked in on his wife kissing Amy. After their secret was exposed, they tried to convince Jed to participate in a wife-swapping session, but he declined. Jebediah left the room and was visibly uncomfortable with the entire situation. It's understandable how anyone would feel uneasy about something like this. The most outrageous parts of this story took place at a boathouse. On Memorial Day, all the officers in the department were invited to a party on a boat owned by Officer Stats. The event was organized by Stats and featured a hot tub and the presence of some officers' partners and even their children. However, during the party, an incident occurred involving Magliacco forcing vodka down Hall's throat in the hot tub. Just moments before, Hall unexpectedly decided to remove her top. According to another officer named Durham, Stats intervened when he saw Hall in this situation. He promptly stopped her from drinking, covering her up to protect her. Both Durham and Stats denied any inappropriate relations with Hall. It is worth noting that Hall was heavily intoxicated and even fell down a flight of stairs at the party before engaging in sexual activity with Magliacco. During the subsequent investigation, Magliacco expressed concerns about Maegan's mental health. He informed the investigators that Hall had a strong inclination for drinking and had even driven home while intoxicated after a previous party at his house. Magliacco also mentioned Hall's tendency to talk about self-harm and her expressed desire not to be alone. Officer Powell recounted an incident when he pointed an unloaded gun at her head, pulling the trigger so she could hear the sound it made. As the investigation continued, it was discovered that Hall had engaged in intimate encounters with her superiors, particularly Sergeant Lewis Powell, who was also implicated by Magliacco. Magliacco informed the investigators that Hall had bragged to him about Powell's physical attributes. Magliacco revealed that Maegan had performed oral sex on Powell while on duty. Their affair lasted for several months, with Sergeant Powell developing strong feelings for Hall. However, Powell was not interested in pursuing a serious relationship and intended to end their relationship on multiple occasions. She told investigators in her second and third interviews about her relationship with Powell that he had threatened to kill himself when she tried to end things between them. Powell, who was married, initially denied having relations with Hall. Several times, he tried to spin all the blame on Hall, saying that everybody knows she has multiple partners. But after realizing that there was no way out for him, he caved. Another officer in the department named Detective Seneca Shields also denied having any relations with Hall, at first. But upon further pressing by investigators, he buckled and admitted that they had engaged in oral sex in the department's weight room while they were on the clock. But the one affair that even she didn't bother to hide was with K-9 officer Larry Holliday. In the very first interview, Maegan openly acknowledged her relationship with Holliday. However, Hall stated that her encounters with Holliday occurred a long time ago. When investigators questioned Holliday about his relationship with Hall, he claimed that he once invited Hall and other officers to his home to watch football, and there was heavy drinking involved. The report mentioned discussions about a potential threesome involving Hall, Holliday, and Holliday's ex, but Holliday insists that nothing happened at the party. Later on, the officer admitted to engaging in sexual relations with Hall multiple times, revealing that they would meet in hotel rooms for their encounters. During the investigation, Hall initially denied having any illicit affairs with her colleagues, except for Holliday. However, she did admit to sending nude images to other officers on shift, including Holliday, Magliacco, and Officer Schuberl, as documented in the report. Additionally, she disclosed that she had sent pictures of her feet to McGowan, alleging that he had a foot fetish and frequently requested such images. Her final affair took place with Juan Lugo. Initially, Lugo denied any inappropriate actions with Hall. However, when Hall confessed to their affairs, he was compelled to admit the truth. The two met at a hotel after partying all night with their colleagues from work at a place called Go Fun USA. At the end of the investigation into this scandal, Hall was fired from her job in the department, which was not surprising. Lugo, Powell, Shields, and McGowan were also fired because they broke the rules of the police and lied during investigation. Holliday was only suspended from his job because he was honest during the investigation, along with Magliacco and Schuberl. Because of this scandal and the firings that happened, the Laverne Police Department has lost 12% of its total staff. Hall has now spoken out and said that she felt manipulated by her superiors in a legal case about civil rights that was filed after the incident. Her lawyer, Wesley Clark, said that Hall was taken advantage of and treated unfairly, possibly because of her mental health problems and troubled marriage. As the case continues, Burl Chip Davis, the Laverne police chief, was dismissed from his position. An independent investigator discovered that Davis was aware of Hall's involvement with her fellow officers. Yet, instead of taking action, he attempted to further conceal it. However, the main victim in this situation is Hall's husband, Jebediah. Despite enduring numerous challenges, he is choosing to support his wife and address their marital issues. Coffee County Sheriff Chad Parton, Jebediah's employer, acknowledges his strength, stating, "I don't know how he does it. He's more resilient than I am, but he's determined to save his marriage." To wrap up, the story of Maegan Olivia Hall's involvement with the police department serves as a stark reminder of the consequences that arise when power is abused and trust is broken. It is crucial that we continue to demand transparency, ethical conduct, and a commitment to justice from those who are tasked with upholding the law. If you found this video informative and thought-provoking, we encourage you to give it a thumbs up and hit that subscribe button to stay updated on our future content.